All right, so are you ready to jump into another deep dive with us?
Let's do it.
Today we are tackling the world of an ICT information and knowledge manager.
All right.
We're going to break down what they really do, separate fact from fiction. We'll look at the pros and cons,
Yeah,
because every job has them.
of course.
And we're going to give you some tips on how to stand out in this field,
Oh,
especially since it seems to be kind of blowing up right now.
absolutely.
And to help us along the way, we're tapping into some insights from RoleCatcher.
Good resource.
They've got this really cool platform that's all about making your job search way smoother. So if this is a career you've been curious about, stick around, you're in the right place.
Yeah, this is interesting because, we always hear about how technology is like replacing jobs. But this is one where it really highlights how much we still need humans
Yeah.
to manage and make sense of all this data that's out there.
Yeah, it's like we're swimming in data these days,
Totally.
and somebody's got to be able to wrangle it and make it useful, right?
Exactly.
So it's almost like being a digital architect.
I like that.
When you think about it that way, you're building these blueprints for how information flows within a company. So is it safe to say this isn't just someone who's glued to spreadsheets all day?
No, not at all. This role is all about strategy. Think of a company's data like its circulatory system, right? An
Mhm.
ICT information and knowledge manager is like the cardiologist, making sure everything's flowing smoothly and efficiently.
I like that analogy.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
And they're the ones connecting the IT folks, the management teams, even the marketing people, making
Yeah.
sure everyone has access to the information they need right when they need it.
Okay, so we're talking high-level, serious technical chops, but then you also need those people skills. Like, you got to be a diplomat almost,
Right. Communication is key.
right?
Definitely.
No pressure.
None at all.
But, one of the things I found really interesting digging into RoleCatcher's guide here is how this whole need to wrangle data is actually translating into a booming job market,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
which is kind of counterintuitive to what we usually hear.
It is, but companies are realizing that data isn't just numbers on a balance sheet. It's the key to making smarter decisions and staying competitive.
So they need someone who can not only manage the data, but also understand what it all means, connect the dots.
Yeah, make it make sense.
Right.
Exactly.
And that's where our ICT information and knowledge manager comes in.
Exactly.
They're shaping the information strategy,
Yeah.
building the digital infrastructure. They're ruling the data kingdom,
They are.
which, by the way, is only getting bigger.
It's true. And that reliance on data-driven decisions, it's only going to increase. So this role is going to be even more critical in the years to come.
Okay, so we've talked about how important this role is and how it seems like the job market is really responding to that.
It is.
But let's get down to brass tacks here. What's in it for the person actually doing a job?
Right.
RoleCatcher's guy doesn't shy away from the nitty-gritty, does it?
No, they get right into it. And I think a big draw for a lot of people is the earning potential.
Yeah.
This isn't just a stable career path. It's one where you can actually make some serious money.
Okay, so the salary's good, but there's going to be more to it than that. What about the actual work itself?
Oh, it's definitely not just crunching numbers. You're working with cutting-edge technology,
Uh-huh.
constantly learning new things, really pushing the boundaries of what's possible with data.
So we're talking AI, machine learning, that kind of stuff.
All of that, yeah. You're on the front lines of it all.
So it sounds like this is a good fit for someone who likes to be challenged, someone who gets bored easily if they're not
Definitely.
constantly learning something new.
100%.
Now, RoleCatcher's guide also mentions this fast-paced environment and a steep learning curve.
Mm-hmm.
What does that actually look like in practice?
So imagine you've just figured out this new data visualization tool, right? You're feeling good about it. You're like, I'm a rock star. And then bam,
No.
a new version comes out with a whole new set of features and you got to learn it all again.
That's constantly evolving.
Yes, and that's what makes it exciting. But it also means you got to be able to keep up. You got to have that stamina and that real passion for learning.
Right. It's less like a steady jog and more like training for a marathon.
Exactly.
But you're doing it with data instead of, running shoes.
Right.
So speaking of being ready for this marathon, what about the actual skills you need to succeed here? We've talked about the big picture stuff, but what should someone actually have in their toolbox to really excel in this role?
Well, you definitely need a strong IT foundation. So think practical skills like being fluent in SQL for database management,
Okay.
Python for data analysis and automation, and then those data visualization tools, Tableau, Power BI, things like that. Because you need to be able to tell a story with the data.
Right. So it's not just about having the data. You have to be able to communicate what it means to other people
Exactly.
who might not be as data fluent as you are,
Exactly. And that's a whole other skill set right there. Being able to explain complex data in a way that anyone can understand.
right? Like, you're the bridge between the tech world and the rest of the company.
I like that. Yeah.
And on top of that, you got to be a problem solver.
Oh, absolutely.
You've got these massive data sets, potentially buggy software. Things are changing all the time.
It's a lot.
So you're like a data detective almost,
A little bit, yeah.
uncovering hidden patterns, connecting the dots, and then coming up with solutions.
All while keeping the company's goals in mind, right?
Right, exactly.
It's a balancing act, for sure.
Okay, so let's say someone is listening to us right now, and they're thinking, yeah, sign me up. This sounds awesome. Where do they even begin? What does that first step look like?
Well, the great thing about this field is that it's open to both people who've been in the workforce for a while and those who are just starting out
Okay.
early in your career. It's really all about hands-on experience. So think internships, entry-level positions in IT departments, anything where you can really get your hands dirty with data, whether it's analysis, information architecture, even setting up knowledge management systems.
So internships are key. What other advice would you give to someone who's just starting to build their resume in this area?
Look for projects that let you actually use those data skills. Maybe it's helping with database cleanup and migration. Maybe it's contributing to a data visualization project. These might seem like small wins, but they all add up to a compelling story when you're talking to potential employers.
Right. It shows you've got that practical experience,
Yeah,
not just the theory.
exactly.
Okay, so from there, this career path can lead all the way up to a chief information officer position.
Oh, absolutely.
Not bad for someone who started out, wrangling spreadsheets.
Not bad at all. And RoleCatcher's guide actually does a great job of mapping out that trajectory. They talk about how an ICT information and knowledge manager can move into a senior manager role. And then with the right experience and drive, they can even aim for that CIO spot.
Wow. So the opportunities are definitely there. But we got to be real for a second. The job market, it's competitive out there.
Oh, yeah?
What sets someone apart from the crowd in this field?
That's a great question. And honestly, this is where RoleCatcher's platform itself can be a game changer.
Okay, tell me more.
So we've talked about their insights, but their tools are really designed to give you an edge in your job search.
I like it.
You know that feeling of sending your resume into a black hole? And you're like, did they even get it?
Oh, yeah.
RoleCatcher actually tackles that head on.
Okay. So
They have this browser plugin. It's called RoleCatcher.
capture.
Catchy.
Right.
And it lets you save job postings from any job board with just one click.
Oh, wow.
No more endless tabs, no more lost applications. It's like a super organized filing system for all your dream jobs.
That already sounds like a win to me.
Right.
But it gets even better, doesn't it? They don't just help you organize, they help you optimize.
Exactly. So their AI actually analyzes job descriptions,
Wow.
and it tells you which version of your resume has the highest chance of getting past those automated screening systems.
That's huge.
It's like having a personal recruiter who knows exactly what employers are looking for.
So you're not just applying to more jobs. You're applying smarter,
Excited.
making sure your skills and experience are presented in a way that actually aligns with what the job requires.
That's the key.
That's brilliant. I love that.
It all comes back to strategy, right? And in today's world, that includes how you approach your job search.
Could not agree more. Well, there you have it, folks. A deep dive into the world of the ICT Information and Knowledge Manager.
A very important job.
It is. And it sounds like it's only going to become more vital as we go forward. So if you are looking for a career that's challenging and rewarding, and you like the idea of being on the cutting edge of technology, this might just be the path for you. Until next time, everybody, happy data crunching.